Hey guys, today we are going to build an AI agent that can handle customer support and also helps in lead generation. At first, a quick little intro. I'm Adnan and I'm documenting my journey in the AI automation space. I try to learn new things every day, I record them, and I post in this channel. Like every video before, we are going to give a little bit context for our imaginary company. If you are following my journey, I have already built tools that used this company's context, so it will help you guys to be familiar with our previous prompts. So the name of our imaginary company is Biosource Analytics. It's an Austin-based provider specializing in the acquisition and provision of high-value medical and scientific lab equipment for research institutions, clinical labs, and biotech companies across the USA. So that's our company. Biosource is planning to implement an AI agent to manage customer support and generate leads as part of building their ideal customer profile. So if they can build this system, it can cut costs, which can also lead to higher lead conversion rates and a more efficient customer support system. So this is our brief overview of the agent that we will be building today. The main goal is to implement a chatbot powered by AI which can respond to all customer queries and automatically update spreadsheets with the lead contact information and details. The chatbot will also have voice chatting capabilities, and if we connect a phone number to it, it can handle customer support over phone calls too. But in this video, I'm keeping it a little bit short. We are going to skip the phone call part, but in near future, if you guys want it, I can make that as well. So these are the tools that we will be using today. At first, our main automation system will be built on Voiceflow's system. We will be calling a tool from Relevance AI that we made earlier, and of course I'll give detailed walkthroughs of it. Then we are going to use make.com and Google Sheets integration into our system. Now that we have a basic understanding of what our chatbot will be, we can actually start building the project. Currently we are in the Voiceflow dashboard and we are going to click on new agent. So we can name our agent something like Biosource Analytics Customer Support Bot. We will be going with the basic template here and we're going to click on create project. Voiceflow is loading. Okay. We can delete everything. Alright. So this is our start trigger, and upon clicking it, our chatbot will activate. As you will see at the end of the video, we can actually set this chatbot up in your website or anywhere else, and upon pasting our code, pop-up icon will be like this, and upon clicking on the pop-up, a chatbot will show up. Okay, let's start our build. This is our start trigger, and we can start with the basic message here. For example, we can write, hey, it's Biosource Analytics. How can I assist you today? Okay, so this is your first agent message. Then we can actually add a set step. We are going to capture the user input here in this step. So we can actually click where should have added the capture step. From listen we can select capture here. Alright, we are going to capture the entire user reply, and we are going to save that in the we're going to create a new variable here, and we can name it something like first user reply, and in description we can write something Now you may think adding descriptions to all variables or all steps is not necessary, but as we are using an AI brain here, it provides more context to the agent so that it can use these steps and tools better, right? So it's a good practice, the first reply of the user, first user reply. And the reason why we didn't select last utterance, which was the default option here, we'll know later. Stick with me. You can create variable and save the entire reply to first user reply. Cool. Next up, we can add a set step, and we are going to select the prompt here, and we're going to give a prompt to the agent. So selecting prompt, we are going to create a new prompt. Let me just tell you what we're going to in this step. After we ask the user how can the bot assist him today, the user will type something. For example, it can be a query about the company, or the user may want to know about the prices of the equipments that he or she wants to buy for his lab, right? So at first we are going to summarize what the user said and feed that data back to him and ask him that did you really mean this, or in a summarized form. You get the point, right? It will be clear when we show some examples, but for making this video shorter, I have actually typed everything before so that it can be easier for you guys, so you can just pause the screen and copy paste it into your workflow. Alright, at first we are going with our problem summarizer prompt. Everything will be clear to you in a minute. We can name this prompt problem summarizer, right? This is a problem summarizer prompt, and the prompt is summarize the customer's question below and ask them to confirm. If that's what they meant, they should be able to answer only with yes or no. This is a confirmation step, not asking for more information. So what's the question? We can actually include the question. The question was, if you guessed, it's first user reply, right? We save the first user input in this variable, so we selected that variable here. Ensure your tone is empathetic, speak directly to the end customer, keep your answer brief and 2 sentences max. And apart from that, we are going to inject the in conversation history. It's a good practice. We are going to do that in every prompt in this workflow. So where we added the conversation history, and this was our prompt. All good. Also, the AI agent will reply with something after the prompt. So we need to save that output to a variable as well. So here we can select, actually we have to create a new variable, and we can name it summarized problem. We can name it summarized problem, and summary of the user's problem. Summary of the user's problem. We can create this variable now. Done. Okay. Now we can add another step here. And in this section we can actually say this. If you carefully noticed in our prompt, we wrote summarize the customer's question below and then ask them to confirm if that's what they meant. So it will first reply with the summarized part, then it will ask a question. So did you really mean this? So yeah, let's move on. So it will reply with the summarized problem. Then we can actually go to listen and choices and give a few choices here. Listening for a trigger, we are going to add yes trigger and a no trigger. So we added yes and no. We can also select a no match here. So if the user replied with anything else other than yes or no, right? So here we can actually copy this as I have typed before and paste that prompt here. Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you say it again? A yes or no is enough. So what it will do, if the user didn't reply with yes or no, it will show this message again and start a loop in this section. Okay, so and there goes our no match prompt, yes or no. Actually we can test what we have built so far. So if you click here, test your agent, hey, it's Biosource Analytics. I think it would be wise to move myself here. Hey, it's Biosource Analytics. How can I assist you today? I need to know more about your company. I need to know more about your company. Right? It sounds like you are looking to learn more about Biosource Analytics and what we do. Is that correct? Yes. So we haven't added any more path here, so the chat has ended, but so far it's working fine. And if we click this button, we can actually hear what the agent says. I'm going to show it in the next step. Alright, so stick with me. So one more thing, what we are going to do in this video, at first we are going to make all the paths that will be smooth, and all the yes paths or all the path that matches with our intent. And after building the whole thing, we will start adding the no sections, or what if our step didn't go right, what if the user replied with some bullshit or it didn't understand what the user said. So we are going to fail safe our system after we build the whole thing. Alright, so it's just basic looping mechanisms. Let's just say the user replied with no, so we are going to add another message step here and ask him, so can you please tell me again what is your problem or what I can assist you with. So we are going to loop that back again in the first user reply in this section here, and it's gonna start the whole chain again. So you'll see, stick with me. Okay, so after the user has confirmed that yes, indeed it was their problem, we are going to classify his problem based on some different criteria. So we are going to branch out from yes, and we are going to add a set step. So in this set step, we are going to select prompt again. We are going to make another new prompt, and this prompt will be named intent classifier. Just stick with me, guys. This prompt will be named intent classifier. So the prompt for this section is, what does the customer want to do? Ask a question, and get a real-time code, or something else entirely. You must output a label for this only, and your options are, so it's gonna output a label only, not a sentence or broad replies. So the first label can be ask a question, and when will it reply with this label? General questions about our business or services, how we operate, etc. This will be routed to a knowledge base of our company documents to be answered. So we are going to add knowledge base later on. And then up we have get a quote. They are asking about pricing or have directly requested a quote. This will take them to a real-time quotation tool that takes in the desired equipment category and acquisition timeline in weeks and returns with tailored pricing options. So it's going to ask the customer about the equipment category he's interested in and his desired acquisition timeline. So we are going to build that later, and anything outside of these two. You must not include any other explanation or reasoning in your response. Just give the label as the output only. Okay, so this was our prompt here. Of course, we need to set a variable for our output, and we can create a new variable here, and we are going to name it desired action, and its description can be the most likely action that the prospect wants to take. We can create this variable and set it to the intent classifier here. All done. Then up we are going to set a logic step here and select the condition here. So we're going to add some conditional paths here. So at first we are going to select condition builder. If desired action is, so what were our options? If you remember, we had ask a question, get a quote, or other. So at first you can select ask a question here. If desired action is ask a question, we are going to add another step. Again, if our desired action is to get a quote, and copy that, paste that here. If our desired action is to get a quote, and then we got other. If our desired action is other. Alright, and of course we have enabled an else path here. We're going to work on that later with a looping mechanism. So that was our intent classifier, and we gave 3 options here. So at first let's work on what if the desired action is to ask a question. We are going to work on it first. Alright, so now we are going to do a knowledge base search. So from this path, ask a question, you can branch out to here and add a knowledge base search. So in this knowledge base search, at first we have to add a knowledge base to our agent. So how can we do that? We can click here, knowledge base. Currently we have no knowledge base, so we can actually add a data source, and we can upload a PDF, text, or docs file. So I'm going to upload a docs file, Word document file here. So I have uploaded my biosource knowledge base. We can import that. Successfully imported. Now we can go back to the workflow. So at first let's check what's on the knowledge base. So this is our biosource knowledge base. What's in it? At first we have some about us section, what the company does and everything it sells or stuff, its location and contact information in case the customer wants to know, our equipment offerings, So what are we offering? Currently we are offering 4 types of equipments. You'll see later. At first we have analytical instrumentation, like various analytical instruments here. We have some imaging systems, we sell those as well. We sell sample preparation and general lab equipments, and we also sell specialized sourcing requests. We also added some frequently asked questions that the customers asked before, so we added those here. Then we added some of our values and commitment, client focus and reach. We proudly serve clients nationwide across the USA. Alright, so there goes our company knowledge base. Of course you can add yours. It can be more detailed, more comprehensive, it can be a lot bigger. So the bigger it is, the more context it can provide the AI agent. But however, you have to be aware of the context limit and the tokens that you're using. So if you don't know what tokens mean, or if you do not know what that means, you can check out my video. I have a video where I explain in details what tokens, parameters and temperatures are in context of AI systems. So alright, then there goes our knowledge base. So now what we can do, actually, in this knowledge base query, we have to type in a question that will send to the knowledge base. So we are going to, in the question section, we can add user's first message. Did we add? In this step we forgot to add conversation history, so let's add that quickly. I believe we have added conversation history to every prompt. Alright, fine. So in the user's first message here, we can actually add the variable first user reply and summarize problem. We can select the variable summarize problem. So save chunks to variables. After querying the data from the knowledge base, it will return those in chunks that we are going to feed to our AI agents later on. So we can actually save the output to a new variable, and we can call it chunk. Created a new variable, and we have set the chunk limit to 3, 1, 2, 3. So alright, so this is our chunk limit. So next up, we are going to add another step here, and this is going to be again a prompt. We're going to create a new prompt, and we're going to name it knowledge base answer generator. So let's just copy this. I'm going to read it aloud, and let's name this knowledge base answer generator, or answer generator from knowledge base, whatever. So it takes in chunks from knowledge base and their general question and write a short and sweet answer. We assigned a role here. You are an AI customer support representative from Biosource Analytics, helping a customer with their question. Use the provided details below to answer the customer's question. Ensure to keep your answers brief and speak directly to the end customer. You are speaking to them over the phone. If you remember, we are building the whole thing so that it can be used in the phone calls as well. Alright, so we have some input data here. In provided details, we can add the chunk variable here. The user's original question, we are going to add the first user reply variable here, and our summary of their problem that they confirmed. In this section, we have summarize problem. As usual, we're going to inject our conversation history here. It's a good practice. Alright, so it's done. Let's just test what we have built so far and if it's perfectly working or not. You can click here, test your agent. Hey, it's Biosource Analytics. How can I assist you today? So I want to know I want to know where you guys are located. This is going to summarize your problem. It sounds like you're interested in finding out the physical location of our company. Is that correct? Yes. So now it's going to search in the knowledge base and reply with the data from the knowledge base. As you can see here, it's provided with all the detailed information. We are located in Austin, Texas at 123 blah blah blah. Our office hours are. You can reach us at. Now we can actually add more steps here. Do you need to know anything else? And we can loop that back into the first step here. So we're going to do that. You can add another step here. Can help you with anything else. So after showing that knowledge base answer, it's going to reply with this. Can I help you with anything else? And we can actually loop that back to our first step, which was save entire reply. Now it's going to initiate the chain again, and we can actually color this. So you can actually select color for the path, so we can keep track of. You can right click on the step and block color. Okay, now we can actually track back so how our chain is working. Now we are going to build on the second path here. It will be quite big, so stick with me, be a little bit patient. So at first we're going to select an agent message here, and we can type in, let's just say he wants to know about quotation for his desired equipment. So you can write, sure, I can provide estimate quotation. Sure, I can provide you with the estimate quotation. You can add that here. Then we are going to add in another message. And so what happened here is we are going to sell 4 kinds of equipments: analytical, imaging systems, sample prep and general lab, or other specialized equipments. So we are going to copy paste this into the messages. Okay, actually I can make it better. Okay, sure, to give an instant quote, I just need the equipment category and your desired acquisition timeline. Cool. So here, what kind of equipment do you need? Analytical instruments, imaging systems, sample preparation and general lab, or other specialized equipments. So now after the agent replies with this, the user will type something or say something. So we are going to listen to his input, and we can actually select the choice option here. Now we need to add some triggers. So we are going to create intent, and our intent names will be the type of equipments. So we already provided the user with the available 4 options, so the user has to reply with those 4 options. Otherwise, of course, you are going to create a fail-safe path here. Trigger this intent when user replies analytical instruments. So utterances, we can add that. So if you click Generally, the user always won't be saying the uh, letter by letter same thing that we set the utterance. So we can actually add a few more variations of the utterances. For example, here we clicked analytical instruments, or he could potentially say something like analytical equipments instead of instruments, or he could just reply with analytical, or he could reply with I need analytical instruments for my lab, or whatever. You get the point. So you can include some few variations that you can come up with, so the user can type those variations and our system can catch that easily, right? So we're not going to use utterances here. So we can create intent. There goes our first trigger, and as you guessed, we are going to add other 3 intents as well. We're going to create a new intent. You can paste imaging systems. Trigger this intent when user replies with imaging systems. Utterances, we'll keep that same. You can create intent here. We are going to add another trigger, create intent. Next up, we got sample preparation and general lab. Can paste that here, sample prep and general lab. Trigger this intent when user replies with sample prep and general lab. The utterances will be the same. Sample prep and general lab. You can create this intent. And last, we got other specialized equipment. Create intent. Same as before. Done. So of course, as usual, we can keep a no match option here. We can say something like, let's just say, what happened here? Okay, we'll add failsafe mechanisms later. So now after the user has replied with his preferred equipment type, we can add some set steps here. We are going to set, this time we are going to click value or expression, select the variable to set. So here we actually need to create a new variable, and the name of that variable will be equipment category. I'm going to tell you why you selected 2 variables named equipment category and acquisition timeline. Just stick with me, as we're going to use another tool from Relevance AI. There we have actually set up these variables like this, so we are just going to copy paste those. Everything will be clear to you guys. Just stick with me and enter description, the category, equipment that the user needs, the category of the equipment that the user needs. Alright, we can create this variable here, and in this value we can actually select analytical instruments. Alright, so if the user replies with this, we're going to select this root, and we're going to assign analytical instruments value to our variable equipment category. We need to do the same for other 3 paths as well. Actually, I think we can copy, duplicate. Alright, so we set our equipment category to the value imaging systems. This time we are assigning the value imaging systems to our variable equipment category. Okay. Next we can add another set step. Value or expression. Again, equipment category. This time I'm gonna just copy paste, guys, because one silly mistake and the tool won't run. We assign that value here, and next up, for other specialized equipment, we can actually add our last set step here. Again, value or expression. Again, we are going to select the equipment category here, other specialized equipment. Okay, done. So we set some values to our variables here. Now after that we can add an agent message here and say like after we have asked for the equipment category from the user, now we can ask for his desired acquisition timeline, right? So what is your desired? So based on the equipment category and the acquisition timeline that the user needs, we are going to quote him a price, right? What is your desired acquisition timeline? We added that agent message here, and now we have to capture a step. You can select entire user reply, and we can save that to last utterance. Next up, we can branch out and a set step here. This time we are going to give a little prompt here, create prompt. Alright, so what we are going to do now, we are going to add a prompt for week extractor. So let's say the user replied with something like, I need my equipment in 3 weeks. So this prompt will actually extract only the week number from the whole message, and that's gonna be easier to send to our Relevance AI tool. Okay, so the name of this prompt is week extractor. You can copy this and paste that here. You can name this prompt week extractor. Extract the number of weeks from what the user said in numerical only format. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Include nothing else in your response. This will be saved as a variable and passed via API to a code generator function. Alright, there it goes. Of course, we need to add a variable. I forget that a bit. One more thing, we need to add our conversation history in the prompt. I keep forgetting this, but you guys should not. So here we can set the variable as acquisition timeline. If you remember, that was our another variable that we need to send to our Relevance AI tool. At first it was equipment category, and this time it's acquisition timeline. So it needs the variable description. We can write something like the timeline of the user's desired acquisition in week. We can create this variable here. Hold on. Next up, we have to add a JavaScript function. Everything will be clear to you in a minute why we need a JavaScript function here. So I think it's better if I show you the Relevance AI tool first, then we can work here, right? It will be easier for you. Now we are in Relevance AI, and this is our cost estimator tool, our code generator tool. So this will require some inputs, and it will provide us the necessary quotation. For example, in the equipment category section, we can actually select 4 options from here, and here we can select a number which is desired acquisition timeline in weeks. So to know more, let's go on to the bigger section here. So what's underneath this tool here? As you can see, these are the inputs required for this tool. At first we have equipment category, and the description of this input is the category of the equipment. So here we have selected a few options. You can, if we expand, if you add type of input, if you click on more, and here if you select options, you will get this kind of input method, right? So after clicking the settings option here, you can add various options, or you can actually cross out previous ones, right? Okay, so this input will be will use the variable named equipment category, as you can see from here, and this will use a text string. Second up, the second input is desired acquisition timeline in weeks. The desired acquisition timeline in weeks, alright. And here we require a number. We selected this input by clicking this section, right? As you can see, the type of data this input expects is a number, not text. I need you to remember this for our next step, alright? The desired acquisition timeline in weeks, it will require the data in number format, not text or string. Okay. So, and this will use the variable acquisition timeline. Cool. Next up, we got the brain of the tool, and as you can see, we have assigned a role. You are a cost estimate calculator. So your task is to customer is requesting a cost estimate for equipment category variable. That means whatever we select from here, or whatever data we pass on to the tool. Then for acquiring in dash weeks, and here we included the variable acquisition timeline. Use this reference data to provide a cost estimate for all the condition options. As you can see, for 4 different types of equipments, and for various acquisition timeline, we have actually prepared this data beforehand. You can input the data from your company, which is relevant. After that, we have written respond with a JSON that has one property estimate and numeric values of all the estimates. And of course you have to select your LLM model. I have selected my Google Gemini 2.0 Flash, and we can actually test this tool here. For example, if we select imaging systems, and let's say our customer wants that in 2 weeks, we can run this tool and see what kind of output it gives us. So the output will be in this format: estimate new surplus or X demo will cost you around $65,000. certified or pre-owned $50,000, source pre-owned $40,000. So this will be our output format from this tool. And for sharing this tool, how to access this tool from our Voiceflow panel. So if you click here in API section, at first we have to make this public. So if you click on share option, it's publicly available. Alright, we also have a shareable link. We're not going to use this, actually we are going to use the API link. So it's publicly available. We do not need any data from endpoint v2, we are going to use the endpoint v1 method. So at first we need to copy the endpoint v1 API key from here, right? We are clicking copy. Now pay attention here. In the request body section, we are going to, as you can see, this is a post method, post API method. We are going to post a request body with a request to our tool from Voiceflow. So you can see the post body from here. It's expecting the acquisition timeline data in this format. If you remember, this was in number format, so it doesn't need any quotation mark or apostrophes. And it is expecting equipment category data in this format. Alright, here it goes. And also something to notice here, in this header section, in our post request, we need to select content type. We need to select applications/JSON as our content type. Okay, just remember this, we're going to use the applications/JSON. And if you want to keep this tool private, if you click here, make private, just notice what changes here. In the sample car section, previously we had just this, now we have another header section parameter which is called authorization your API key, and this API key is actually the API key from here. If you click here, generate API key, it will give you a private one-time use API key that you can use in the header section, but we are not making our tool private from now, so we are going to make it publicly available just for simplicity. Again, if we copy this endpoint v1 link, we're going to use post method. It's expecting the request body in this format and only content type applications/JSON. Now let's move on to Voiceflow again. We are back to Voiceflow again. So if you remember from our Relevance AI tool, we need the week number or week data in number format, not in text format. So it can be a little bit confusing. For example, there can be numbers in a text. That doesn't mean it's in number format. For those of you who are programmers, you will know that it's what this JavaScript is doing. It will actually convert our text format to number format so that our Relevance AI tool can actually use that. So this is our JavaScript code. If we copy that and paste that here, see, acquisition type, we are converting the acquisition timeline variable to a number format. So if you remember, we set acquisition timeline variable to our week extractor prompt. The output will be saved to acquisition timeline variable, and after that this JavaScript code will actually convert that variable into a number format. Okay, then let's say default happens. We can actually branch out again and we can select a message here. We can say something like, please wait while I generate your code. Please wait while I generate your code. Next, we can actually start working with the API. This was actually a post method, if you remember, and the URL was, we copied this from endpoint v1 from Relevance AI. This was our post URL, and if you remember, we had some headers. We had actually one header, and it was content type, and the value was, if you remember, application/json. Okay, so this was our header. This was our header. Before pasting the body, I want to just run this step, because let's run this step. There's a little bug here, so just trust me on this. Before finishing the post API step, you just need to run this. Okay, all done. You do not need to do anything else. You can go back. Now we can actually work with the post. So in the body form data, we need to send a request body with our API request, if you remember. So we're going to select raw JSON. Okay, so if you remember, in our request body section, there were only these terms like equipment category and acquisition timeline. But just trust me, you need to write the request body in this format, otherwise it won't work. Trust me. So at first we have params or parameters. What parameters are we sending? At first we are sending the, if you remember, it was property equipment. It was equipment category, right? Sorry, I forgot. Not property, it was equipment category. The first parameter was, I'm not going to select this. All right, this will be, if I select this, it will select the variable named equipment category, but we are just saying that this is a parameter, then we are going to input the actual variable. Just follow me. Equipment category, just write it properly, equipment category. Then here you can actually select the variable equipment category. So yeah, that was, if you got me. So this was the format. Now we got acquisition timeline. Again, we are not going to select that. Acquisition timeline, as is this in a number format. We do not need any quotation marks here, so we can just go and select the variable here. And this is a project ID. You can get that at the end of endpoint v2 URL. If you look into that, there will be our project ID here. So I'm just pasting that here. So this will be our project body. Sorry, this will be our request body. All done. If we I just move myself, capture response. Yes, we will be capturing our response. You can select that later. I'll work with this later. So let's just test if our post API is working or not. Right, so let's just say we are selecting image. I believe it was imaging systems, and acquisition timeline, let's just say we need it in 2 weeks. You can send and see if our API request is working or not. Our API request is working just damn fine. So this is the output from our tool. We accessed our tool perfectly. So what we will do, okay, now it's working. So we are going to actually save this answer into a new variable, and I'm going to name this raw quote. It's raw data because it still needs some processing, and we need to actually write that properly. We cannot just type these things to our user, right? So we are going to further process it and make it readable text. So we're going to save this answer to a new variable called raw code data. Let's just add here and raw data from quote generator tool, the raw data from quote generator tool. So this is our raw code data. We can create variable and we save that. Capture response, output answer to call raw code data. Alright, so done. So far it's working perfectly fine. So now we need to actually add another step here, and that will be a talk prompt. We need a new prompt here. We can create prompt and we are going to name this quote responder. Okay, just stay with me guys, I'm going to explain everything. I'm going to name this prompt quote responder. Alright, so this is our prompt. So the thing is, let's just add our variable first, then I'm going to explain. Alright, write a short and clear explanation of this code for the customer selected equipment. The customer selected equipment will be automatically loaded here with the equipment category variable, and this is the raw code data that we got from our external Relevance AI tool. So your response will be read over the phone, and so must be all in one paragraph and be no longer than 3 to 4 short sentences, because it will be read over the phone. It should give them a description of the condition options and their estimated prices. Do not ask a question at the end. So it should read like, we also provided an example here. Of course, we need to add our conversation history here. Okay, for imaging systems needed within 0 to 4 weeks, I would generally have. So this will be our example format. We are going to test anyway, so let's just keep that for now. Alright, I move myself there. So it will show this prompt here, and okay, so we have given prompt for our quote responder, and the next step will be we can add an agent message here and say, because I have generated the code and showed the code to the user, now we can proceed and collect how we can contact with him. Alright, collect his contact information. So we can say something like, please give me your full name and phone number so that one of our team can get in touch with you later. Please give me your full name and phone number so that one of your team can get in touch with you later. Okay, so this is our agent message. Then we can capture the user's reply by add a capture step here, and we can capture the entire user reply and we can save it to last utterance as well. Next up, we are adding a set step here, and we are going to add prompt. We are going to create new prompt and we are going to name it name and phone extractor. As usual, I'm going to explain everything. let me just set up the prompt first. Name and phone number extractor. Alright, so we have just asked the user to provide their name and phone number. We need to attempt to extract the information and confirm it with them. Here is their reply. The reply is let's add that again, last utterance, because we saved our reply there. If there is a valid name and phone number present, then you must do a confirmation. For example, okay, just quickly to confirm your name is, we can actually, okay, this was an example, we do not need to add my variable here. So your name is name and your name number is number, is that correct? Let me just first quickly add the conversation history here. However, if one or both are missing or appear to be invalid, you must output only retry. Why retry? Because we are going to check the value of this variable, we can, so that we can check it quickly. Alright, so one reply will be retry, which is the case if the agent failed to extract a proper name or phone number. It will, the output will be retry, and if it's not the case, the output won't contain retry. So we can use some condition here, if the output contains retry or the output doesn't contain retry. Okay, so as your response and nothing else, this retry variable will be checked for, and if it matches exactly, then it will trigger another attempt to capture. Okay, so please either write a short and sweet confirmation message or output retry for another attempt at capturing. Okay, so far so good. We can, as usual, we have to set a variable to capture our answer, and we are going to name it. Actually, I'm not going to name anything. We will select last response. Let me clarify, what does it mean? So here we use last utterance and this is last response. So the basic difference in Voiceflow is last utterance means the last reply that the user typed. Okay, user's last response. However, last response variable indicates the last response of our AI agent or the chatbot. Does that make sense? Alright, so name and phone number will be extracted and the response will be set to last response variable. I believe we don't need to add description here. And next up, we can add a logic condition here. Yeah, so we have to add some paths here. You can select condition builder. So we are going to test the variable last response. So I'm reminding you again, if the last response not contains retry, then it's the correct route and we can proceed. But if the last response contains retry, we have to actually loop it back again. Alright, so I believe this is done. Okay, so I can add the loop right now, or maybe I can add it later after the build. Maybe I'll add it later. Okay, so last response not contains retry. Okay, let's proceed. So what if our last response does not contain retry? So it's correct, the name and phone number is correct, so we can move forward. So we can show the last response properly now. So you can select agent message here and last response. Okay, it's added. Cool. Now we need to, because if you remember our prompt here, let me show you again. The last response would look something like this. Okay, just quickly to confirm, your name is this and your number is that. Is that correct? So it's a yes or no question, right? So we need to capture the user's reply with this. So I can go to listen and select choice and give here, and I'm going to add some triggers here. A yes trigger and a No trigger. Cool. Again, if the answer user replies with no, that's not my name or number properly. So again, we have to loop it back again. I'll add that later. Let's just proceed. So last response, yes. And if the user confirms, then I can do something, which is I can add a set step here, and I can add another prompt here. So we can create our prompt, new, and we are going to name this prompt with extract name, and we are going to name the later prompt extract phone number. Alright, so I can copy. The name of this prompt will be extract name, and here I can paste it. Alright, please output their name and name only. Cool. So when it's gonna output their name, we are going to save it to a variable called name. Yeah, it's that simple, it's that simple, guys. Okay, so we have to select the variable. We can type a name. It's our new variable. The name, my bad, almost typed anime. The name of the user. Cool. Our prompt is done. Our variable has been set to the prompt. Now we have one more step. Oh, what happened? I guess we can add in this ladder. No need to diversify our paths. We're going to add another prompt, and we're going to create the prompt. You guessed it right this time. I'm going to name it extract phone number. Name and phone number need to store there. I'm going to change as I just copy pasted earlier. I'm just modifying our prompt for phone number. Previously it was for the name. Okay, of course we have to add conversation history. It's a good practice. Maybe I forgot to add earlier. Let me add that again. We can inject the conversation history. Did I miss conversation history here? Maybe. No, I added. Cool. Everything is added. Also, we have to set our phone number variable to let's say phone number. You can add that variable, phone number of the user, phone number of the user. Alright, our variable is created. Everything is set. Okay, so moving on to the next section. Now we can add a step here, and I can say our task is almost done, guys, because the chatbot has provided all the information and collected all the information from the user as well. Now it's time to actually save that information to our spreadsheet. Cool. So we can say something like, great, let me get that added to our system. I can type something like this, and now if I go to dev and API, now we actually need to use a tool from make.com. We are going to use the API call to send our name and phone number and probably some other data as well to the make workflow, and from there it can actually save it to a Google spreadsheet. So stick with me. Now we are in the make.com dashboard, and we are going to click on create a new scenario. Okay, we need a trigger as usual, and this time we will be using webhooks. If you don't know what webhooks are, they are actually, you can simply call it reverse API. Alright, so we will create a webhook, and for trigger we can use custom webhook triggers when webhook receives data. I'm going to click this, choose a hook. I believe we can add a new webhook here. Webhook name, we can name it something like bio source analytics, biosource analytics, lead generator, whatever you want to name it. We're going to click on save. Now as you can see here, we have a link that we can paste into our Voiceflow step. I'm going to keep it as it is, and we are going to add another module here, and this time we will add a Google Sheets module. We are going to select add a row, appends a new row to the bottom of the table. I'm going to click on that. So now you actually have to, if I move myself a little bit, alright, so at first connect your Google account here. I believe you can do that. Then after connecting, search method, search by path, my drive, spreadsheet ID. So at first we have to select our spreadsheet, so I'm going to click that. So before selecting our ID, we can actually create a new spreadsheet, and then it will automatically come up here. I'll show you that. We are currently in the Google Sheets now, and this is our Google Sheet named biosource leads. Okay, so what we can do, we can create some row headers here. First up, let me just make everything bold in this line. Cool. Also, maybe we can align it at the center. Timestamps, then we can add something, the name of the lead, then we can add phone number of the lead, then we can add equipment, I believe it was category. I keep writing equipment type, but that's alright. Equipment category, then we had acquisition, desired acquisition time frame of the user. This was user's desired acquisition time frame. Then we can mention the quoted prices so that we can read it again before doing a sales call to him for better preparation. Alright, so our row headers are set. Now we can go back to make.com. Okay, so let's just see, I have added, and I can search it by typing biosource leads. I got it. You can select it, and the spreadsheet ID is biosource leads, and it will, what it will do, it will automatically add all the, after we selected the sheet name and we selected table contents headers, as you can see, I typed in this fields there: timestamps, name, phone number, equipment category, acquisition time frame, quoted prices, etc. Okay, before working our webhook here, I'm going to do something, and that's everything is set, I believe. You can click save. Alright, I'm going to click run once. So as you can see, it's waiting for the data to arrive. So now if we go back to Voiceflow, and here we need the URL, so let's go back to here. I forgot to copy the link. I can copy this link from here, copy address to clipboard, done. Then I can select run once. Then I'm sorry, did it copy? Now everything is working fine. Right. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, this is a get type API, and I'm going to paste the link here. I pasted the link here. Now we do not need anything in headers though, but we need to add some parameters here, and just stick with me, it's interesting. So at first, if you remember, we had an entry called timestamp, right? So interestingly, Voiceflow already has a default variable named timestamp, as you can see. Alright, we can add another, and this time it will be name, and we can pass on the name that we have saved for this variable. Then we got phone number, and did we all was okay. Now we can add the phone number here, phone number, done. Then we had equipment category. From here we can select equipment category variable, done. Then we can select acquisition time frame from here. Oh sorry, it was timeline. Alright, it doesn't matter because I believe in the sheets we have type time frame. That's alright, it will work. Then up we have quoted prices, and here we can actually input the raw code data. Okay, so this was the raw code data that we just because if we do this it looks good. Phone number, then up we got equipment category, acquisition timeline, quoted prices, done. So we're going to do something here. We can actually click send. I guess we have to run the whole thing, but let's just run this step. Hope it will catch some time frame, otherwise I have to do everything from the start again. I just want to test everything after we have completed. Okay, so let's see if it has the time frame now. Can we? Unfortunately no. It's alright, we can add whatever we wish. Name Ronaldo, phone number 123456789, equipment category imaging systems, acquisition timeline, let's see, we say 2 weeks, raw code data, blah blah. I'm just testing the webhook, guys, so stick with me. You can send it. Sent successfully. So I just want to test something. Unfortunately Did you got the timestamp? Okay, I think Google Sheet has the checker. Nothing appeared here. Okay, we forgot to do one thing in the make.com workflow. If you click on Google Sheets, we actually need to select the placeholders. Like for timestamp, as you can see, it has received the data from the webhook, just as I just typed these things, but we need to actually place those placeholders in here so that it can actually input the entries in the actual sheet, right? So in the timestamp, we can add timestamp. In the name, we can add the name, then phone number. So you guys, if you guys didn't understand, we actually need to run the thing once so that the webhook gets the data and it can actually get accustomed to what kind of data are we sending. Like these are the kind of parameters that we are sending from our Voiceflow app. Alright, so equipment category, we are placing it in the D, acquisition time frame, and quoted prices. Where did that go? Okay, cool. Now if I click that, I can click save. Now if you use existing data, now if you check our spreadsheet, voila, how cool is this? So we got everything here: timestamp, name, phone number, human category, acquisition type, and the quoted. Of course we can modify it further. It's looking ugly, like in the JSON format, so maybe you can do add some few more steps, but the video is getting long, so I'm not going to do that. What we are going to do is going to fine-tune our Voiceflow setup and make it look a bit cooler, right? Also, you have to make sure the file systems are working fine. And I'm also going to show you guys how the voice option works here. The chat can read along everything. All right. So far our sheet is working everything. So there's that. I'm going to okay, we are back again in Voiceflow. So let's start. So right from the beginning, actually we can okay, done. Save first if the reply to this. That so from yes we send the summarized problem to the desired to the intent classifier, but what if the user replies with no, that was not their problem? So for that we can actually add a fail-safe system here. Let's just say, can you please tell me again how can I help you? So can you please tell me again how can I help you? Okay, so as we are backtracking, I believe we can make it red just to differentiate from all the previous prompts. Okay, so can you tell me please again how can I help you? And from there we are going to capture the user's reply, right? So we can connect it here. Alright, so our first loop is done. But what if the user, we do not find any match for the user? So sorry, I didn't get that. Can you say it again? Yes or no is enough. So you don't need to add another root here, because he's going to use the reprompt, and the whole block is gonna run again, right? Not the whole block, actually only the choice listen part. Cool. First failsafe is done. Second up, after the intent classifier action, here in the first step, we already did that. Can I help you with anything else? It's gonna route the user back to the first block. That's alright, I guess. And secondly, get a quote. Alright, so I asked him that we have 4 paths here, no match. In the no match, actually we can say we can give prompts like, can you say again what equipment do you need? Can you say again what category of equipment do you need? Guys, I'm not sure if the grammar is right or not, pardon me. So I'm going to again mention this to the user in the no match prompt. Can paste it here. So we're again telling the user that we are offering 4 kinds of equipment, so these are the only replies. So we added that. It's a failsafe, it's done. Oh, we forgot to add something. That's see, after we set equipment category to imaging systems, we have to add that here as well. We have to add that here as well. We also have to add that here as well. Did you understand why I did that? Because after I checked the equipment category, I have to ask the desired acquisition timeline anyway. It's the same for all the 4 equipment categories, right? So we added that there. Done. Bam. So the JavaScript default section, I believe we can try that again. The JavaScript shouldn't fail. I guess we can add something here there, like, can you mention your desired acquisition timeline in weeks again? Okay, our prompt is added here as a failsafe system. As usual, we can color it to red, and from there we can save the reply to last utterance again. Of course, we forgot to add what is your desired acquisition timeline. Sorry, a glitch happened, so I was here. So actually we can what is the desired acquisition timeline in weeks? Done. So it's perfect now. Of course, we can color this as well. Done. So please wait while I generate your code. So after we called our code maker tool properly, if it fails, so we can add something like something went wrong, let's try that again. And we can route that back to so we actually don't know where is the problem, so I guess we can ask from him from the beginning, what kind of equipment do you need? I guess we can add it to here. It's looking a little bit messy, I know guys, but we have to add the fail-safe systems for businesses because otherwise it would be catastrophic. And secondly, we are adding colors to the route so that we can actually track even a little bit if possible. Okay. I guess there is no way we can keep that out. Alright. Then after the code responder gives us prompt last. So what if so what was the prompt here again? I forgot, guys. Let me check. So he's going to reply with if there's a valid name and phone number. Alright, so we can write something like, please provide a valid name and I'm going to test it with not valid phone number, then we'll see in real time what happens. Valid name and phone number. This was our agent message. We can color it in red. After that, please provide a valid name and phone number. We can save the entire reply to last utterance again and color it in red. Alright, so we are using the last utterance here. Let's go. So it can take input from the user again and save it to last utterance, and the cycle will continue. So last response, so it will ask the user, yeah, was this the correct or not? So if the user replies with no, then we can route him back again to please give me your full name and phone number, so I can connect that here. Of course, you can always add more steps and more customized messages, but the video is getting long and long. Okay, so set name to extract name, set name to phone number. Great, let me get that added to our system. Thanks. I believe we can end with a sweet note. Let's just say thanks for your time and response. Thanks for your time and response. Can we add anything here? Anything more convincing or stuff like that? Thanks for your time and response. One of our team will contact you later. Can add done. Thanks for your time and response. Contact you later. Okay, so we can end our whole conversation with this. So I believe we have done all the failsafe and loops properly. Do we have anything left here? No, we added the prompt. Okay, so I guess it's working great now. Only one thing is left to do, test the whole thing from beginning, and this time, as I promised you guys, this time will be with voice. So yeah, let's do it. Okay guys, we're back. So now we are going to test everything right from the beginning. Let's see how our chatbot is working or not. We can select chat. Now I'm going to enable the unmute. We're going to unmute the dialog audio so that you can see how the voice agent works, and if we can add a phone number to it, we can enable its functionality over phone calls as well, so it can act as a phone call customer support agent. How cool is that? So let's run the test.
Hey, it's Biosource Analytics. How can I assist you today?
How can I contact you guys let's just first test the ask a query path. Right? I want to know something from their knowledge base.
It sounds like you're looking for ways to get in touch with our customer support team. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Now it's searching the knowledge base and our answer is here.
Here are our contact details. Phone
Well,
512-555-0119. Email info@biosourceanalytics.com. Address 123 Research Boulevard, Austin, TX 78758. We're available Monday, Friday, 9:02 a.m., 5:10 p.m. Central Time. How can I help you today?
Alright, so we need some tweaking here
Can I
because
help you with anything else?
you can see it messed up the pronunciation of 9 a.m. and to 5 p.m. So we can tweak these things later in prompts by fine-tuning our prompts. Of course, we can fix these things. Can I help you with anything else? Yes, I want to buy some equipments for my lab. Let's select the other path now. I want to know the quotation.
I understand that you are looking to purchase laboratory equipment for your research or scientific work. Would you like to confirm that you want to explore our equipment purchasing options?
Yes. So it's taking
Okay, sure. To give
this
you
part
an
here.
instant quote, I just need the equipment category and your desired acquisition timeline. What kind of equipment do you need? Analytical instruments, imaging systems, sample prep and general lab, or other specialized equipment?
Okay, we are let's say we go with sample prep and general lab. Right now I'm just copy pasting the exact thing, but if you include other utterances as well, you can actually be ready for these situations where customer can misspell or type other things. Of course, the AI agent is there, it can handle, but we can always face in the system, right? Sample prep and general lab. Okay.
What is your desired acquisition timeline?
So as you can
and
see,
peaks?
it took this path, and from here we are now this. So what is the desired acquisition time? Let's say I need it in 1 week. I need it fast. So I'm gonna just type 1. Or I could type I need it 1 week. The AI would extract that week number from it.
Please wait while I generate your quote.
I'm waiting.
For sample prep and general lab equipment,
There it
we
is.
offer 3 pricing tiers. New surplus or X demo units at $12,000, which are essentially like new condition. Certified pre-owned CPO units fully tested and warranted at $8,000. And source pre-owned SPO units in good working condition at $5,000. These prices provide flexible options to match your budget and quality requirements. Please give me your full name and phone number so that one of our team can get in touch with you later.
Let's say I type my name is Ronaldo and my phone number is 123456789. Or maybe we can tweak this a bit. Maybe we can type Ronaldo. My number is. This is my phone number. Let's see if it can catch the problem or not. As you can see,
Please provide a valid name
we
and phone number.
did include some invalid phone number. So this time I'm going to type the correct thing. So my name is Ronaldo and my number is 456789. So this time I provided the correct one. Now it should follow the actual path forward.
Okay, just to quickly confirm, your name is Ronaldo and your phone number is 12345666789. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Great, let me get that added to our system.
So sending the API request.
Done, thanks for your time and response. One of our team will contact you later.
Bam! Done. So now we got to check our Google Sheets if our row has been updated with the lead information or not. And bam! We are in the Google Sheets by associates as I have set up in the make.com. And as you can see, timestamp, name, phone number, equipment category, acquisition time frame 1 week, and quoted price. Everything is here. Of course, it's in ugly JSON format. Of course, we can add more steps, perhaps in Voiceflow, maybe perhaps just to maybe instead of sending the raw code data variable, we can send something far more refined and in natural language. So yeah, so the tool is working just fine and I'm happy that it worked fine. So yeah, that was it. That's cool, very cool. We can click back, we can click publish. It took a while, it took a while, so I can click on publish. So it's preparing to publish. Our work is done. The text agent is working fine, the vocal aspect is working fine. We successfully called the relevant AI tool, an external tool that we worked with. It was the code generator, and of course our make.com webhook is working fine. We updated the Google Sheet automatically. So now that we've clicked on publish, if we can go to our agent, perhaps if we click back to dashboard, and if I click on settings, okay, so from this section in the interfaces widget, you can actually copy this code and paste it into your website's body section. It's going to look like this, and it's going to upload everything automatically. Of course, from here you can modality and interface. Okay, you can change everything. Font family, primary color, I'm not going to touch on that. Even the header image, you can add your company logo here. You can add, let's say, one of the real picture of one of your customer representative, or perhaps an AI generated image. In the header section, we can change that to, like, let's say, biosource analytics customer support. Perhaps you can write that. Description of image, you can change the image. Launcher type and image. I think instead of test your image, chat with our customer service, perhaps you can write that and it will look like something, or perhaps you can select this as well, but I think this is more visible. Placeholder text, AI disclaimer. I'm gonna turn remember I said you can turn this off, generated by AI. Double check for accuracy. I'm going to turn this off. Footer text powered by Voiceflow. It looks ugly. I'm going to turn this off. And done. All done. Yeah, that was it. Alright guys, so the journey continues and this was the end. Do let me know in the comments below what AI agents do you want to see next. If you like the video, smash that like button and subscribe for more AI explorations as I post daily in my channel. And that's all for today. I'll see you in the next one.